Welcome back to the Bourbon Barkeep Lounge. We got another house call Wednesday. Essentially, house call is I got two blind pours here and we see who's better. I don't know what I'm drinking. You do, probably why you're here, seeing should I buy one of these or neither or both. In a perfect world, it's both. But yeah, we kind of strip away some of the labels. We just go, how does this taste and feel in my mouth and feel in my belly? And we grade it. We say, you glass A, you glass B, you win. Yeah. So without further ado, let's enter in 14 and 33. We got glass A here. We'll give it a little time to open up a bit. Did open the, or at least pour these 5-10 minutes ago. But as we start to swirl, man, I can smell it from here. Woo! Go ahead, like, subscribe. It definitely lets us know that the Bourbon Barkeep as a channel is on the right track. We love having you guys interact with us. We like knowing you're out there, so definitely keep the comments and subs coming in, please. Let's see what's on the nose here. That is all kinds of sweet. It smells thick, like if I were to jump into a tub of maple syrup and try and smell said maple syrup. A little bit of oak in there, but it's a ton of maybe like a raisin, dark cherry, maybe a little bit of like a jet puff marshmallow in there. I don't know what type of proof we're working with because the nose is actually extremely smooth, but I have a feeling that this is going to be almost chewy in my mouth. Cheers. That assumption was spot on. You know, that's what makes the Bourbon Barkeep professionals over here. Yeah, that is very coating. It almost looks like some of these legs are frozen to the glass. They just cling so well. Thick coating, maybe like going into a French toast. So you have that cinnamon, kind of that spice of the cinnamon on the tongue, but also this really nice kind of buttery French toast. If you are unfamiliar with French toast, now would be the time to pause and look at what all is involved there. This is drinking French toast, and the finish, it's not warming, but it does linger on the tongue. We'll see if that cinnamon kind of hangs around on sip 2 here. You know, sometimes that sip 1 just tastes a little hotter than what it's meant to. Is that right? Let's see. Sip 2, now in my belly. Try to focus a little bit more on the finish because I didn't feel like I gave you too much on that first one. Slightly warming. I would go medium plus. I would have a tough time calling it long. It does kind of go from this French toast, sweetness, oak. It's okay. The nose to front of the palate, highly enjoyable. Finish is okay. So we'll see what kind of price we're working with later on in the episode. I think that's enough with Glass A though. I will revisit these, and typically I speed it up or cut it depending on timing. So we got our Glass B here. Ooh, this one, it smells like a wheat. Yeah, I'm gonna go wheat, red cherry. This one goes much brighter. I don't know if I would call it sweeter. It's just a different sweet with both of these being extremely sweet on the nose. So diving in kind of below this kind of, I would call it a sweet wheat, bright red cherry. Been trying to swirl this a bit more. It's starting to open up a bit, but she kind of wants to lay underneath this sweet cherry and hide. As you start to peek around the corner and try and find these other notes that are not wanting to be found at this point, you do start to get more of like a baked apple. Maybe some cinnamon in there if you're starting to connect some of those dots. I don't know if that's just me or not, but it's definitely like a baked apple. It's a nice nose. It's probably equal in sweetness, but less thick. I would tend to lean towards more of that richness rather than what appears to be a lighter sweet. But ultimately, we'll see what it tastes like. Going from glass A to B, it's tough not to feel like this is a little watery, but I think that's the ultra thickness of glass A. Glass B does kind of linger, has a longer finish, deeper into the belly. So doesn't last on the tongue, but you actually feel it more in your stomach, which is, if that's what you're looking for. Here we are. The cinnamon does pick up on the tongue here rather than the nose. That cherry still comes through pretty smooth. Not super complex, it's just pretty straightforward, sweet with some zing to it, if you will. So I would say both of these over 105. Can I go there? Is that too safe? Is that like the price is right? Let's see what sip 2 has and see if anything else comes through. Sip 2, much more enjoyable. I felt like a little bit more came through. You had a nice caramel starting to come through, still with the cherry. It is kind of drying. I don't think I get a ton of oak unless you kind of do that chew, once you finish the sip. I think that oak starts to kind of come through at that point. It's good. This is going to be very dependent on mood, I believe, because one of these tends to drink a little bit more summery, if you will. And one of these tends to drink more nighttime, maybe. I don't really know how else to describe it. But one is a light, bright with a nice, long, warm finish. The other one is just a thick, dark, smooth whiskey. So I'm going to do a quick side-by-side and we'll come back for some scoring. After revisiting, I don't feel any wiser. Glass A started to get a lot of raisin to it. Not really in a bad way, but that was a note that started to really kind of start to shine through along with everything else. So everything else has kind of remained true. Glass B kind of stuck to her guns as well. So at this point, the only thing left to do is to score glass A and B, and then I will find out actually how much they are. Glass A, what I liked was I did really enjoy the French toast. So if that's something that you're looking to experience in a glass and not sticking bread and eggs and cinnamon into a smoothie, into like a blender, not a smoothie, a blender, and making it a smoothie, this would be your bottle. And it's about as thick as that as well. And I say that in a good way because that was one of the things that I liked. On the other side, it's going to be tough to kind of remember. It didn't really stick out. There wasn't a ton that excited me, if you will, in the finish, although medium, just kind of poof. Glass A, I'm gonna stick it kind of in that pleasurable category. How high? 67. So it's a good pour, knowing that the baseline, if you will, is 50. That highly average 50, it punches up. It's enjoyable, but it's just kind of where I'm at right now, 67. Glass B, I'm a little more in the mood for, 69. I enjoyed it just a hair more. When I started to kind of revisit, it seemed like one of the top priorities in Glass A was the oily feeling, but Glass B, I just felt like I just enjoyed just a bit more in terms of tasting notes. And it's not like it was that thin, just when you're drinking castor oil, Glass B was a little thin, but enjoyed the finish a little bit more as well. So 69, I can't put either of these in the good stuff. I mean, the good stuff is you close your eyes and you're like, that's the good stuff. That did not happen in this episode. So at this point, Glass A still has a fighting chance for bang for the buck. I mean, this could be a lot cheaper. So we'll see. So with the algorithm, if you will, and I guess I didn't explain that, Bourbon Barkeep, we do senses, how does it actually taste, experience, all of that good stuff. I mean, that's priority number one, if you will. Nowadays, priority number two is price. So does the $90 bottle taste like a 90? Does it taste like 150 or does it taste like 25? Those are those are three things. Man, long day. So if you are new to the channel, I'm going to keep looking down, I guess I should say, because I need the iPad. Some people have helpers. I don't have a second phone, so we're rocking an iPad down in the basement. Not my mom's, luckily, so I have some self-respect. But ultimately, we'll take a look at what these two glasses actually cost and then what they are. So we got Battle 205. That's based off of just a random generator thing, free app, obviously. 205, we got 14, so Glass A is $85. I mean, for 85 and just to be pleasurable, that's not going to bode well. Glass B, $65. That will bode well because Glass B tasted better than Glass A. Scoring wise, I mean, both, just to kind of give like a reference on how I enjoyed it at 85 and at 65 at least. Not super. You know what? Let's find out what they are. I mean, there's got to be something to this matchup that brought these two together, and I didn't really pick up on it outside of they're just two kind of random pours, maybe around the same proof, and sometimes that's all it is. So with this battle, 205, the pure senses going to Glass A, we have, so Glass A is Lucky 7 the Frenchman at 113 proof and Maker's Mark 46 cask strength French oaked in Glass B. That one coming in at 110 proof. So both of these are French oaked finished. I feel like I'll have to go back and look at it when I'm editing this. I think I only picked up on marshmallow on one of them. Not predominant. Let's see. No, I mean, at least not on the nose. A little bit more on Glass A since it has that ultra sweetness. The nose on Glass A is still fantastic. So knowing, I mean, they're French oaked. I mean, so you have another step in the the distilling process, so that should count for something, but ultimately, I don't have ages on either of these. Do I have ages? No, I don't have ages. So outside of having complexity in the finishing process, which is hard to do, I don't know. At $85, being that unmemorable, 57, they do something extra, which probably justifies, being a little bit higher priced, having the maker's mark out there being slightly better when it comes to really palate, finish, and price. I'll go 59. Once again, not going to put it up into the pleasurable range. Maybe I'm just not a French oaked guy. I will say, so on the channel, we have reviewed the Balloon Oak Crossroads, which is also French oaked finished. I think that's like 40 bucks, 45. Lower proof, if I remember right. I may pick that over both of these if you're telling me I could save $40 and $25. So take that for what it is. In terms of this battle, Glass B won both categories. I wouldn't say handedly. This was more of like a pillow fight. Kind of, yeah. They just kind of softly called each other names, and Maker's Mark came out on top with one extra zinger, if you will. To tie a bow on this episode, we'll go back to the like, subscribe. We have a lot of fun things coming, as always. At least fun to Noah and I. And we'll see what other House Call Wednesdays have in store with us. If you are a French oaked fan, this is an episode for you. Unless I suck at the French oak finishing, then just carry on about your day.